You're welcome back to the Gavel. Now, during the week, the Senate and the House of Representatives, maybe intentionally or not, paid some attention to the country's aviation sector. Now, both chambers looked at two issues. The Senate was concerned about what it called the high cost for the construction of a second runway for the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, while the House of Representatives looked at a recent report which rated Nigerian airports as being among the worst in the world. In a bid to unravel why Nigerian airports are being rated poorly internationally, the House of Representatives is to investigate how over 400 billion naira appropriated for the expansion, modernization and management of 17 domestic and 5 international airports by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan was spent. This followed a motion by Representative Garba Darti on the need to understand the factors that have led 3 of Nigeria's airports being listed among the 10 worst in the world in an international survey. The House is also to look into the $1 billion Chinese loan obtained by former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration for the modernization and remodeling of the airports.
Over 400 billion naira was appropriated for the expansion, modernization and management of our 17 domestic airports and 5 international airports. Further notes that the Aviation Ministry has obtained a loan of $1 billion from Chinese to improve the facilities at the arrival and departure lounges, airport, toilet facilities, conveyor belts, avio bridges, buses, staff welfare, software infrastructure, knowledge, and general security of our airports. Regrets that with the dwarfing funds injected into the airport's upgrade, rather than turn out to be a symbol of national pride, they have become object of condemnation.
The Senate has also kicked against the proposed 64 billion naira second runway for the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Senate spokesman Dino Melaye in the motion acknowledged that a second runway was necessary for the airport, taking cognizance of its location at the nation's capital, but said the proposed amount was too exorbitant.
Enugu Airport was reconstructed and expanded, Mr. President, at 13 billion naira. That the proposed cost of constructing just a runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, Abuja, at this astronomical amount is about 4 times the cost of constructing a brand new airport in Nigeria. Further worried that the new Terminal 5 at the Heathrow Airport in London, with 4 lanes of 4-kilometer runway, cost less than 25 billion naira, and constructing a 3.81 lane runway for 63.5 billion will be a waste of funds considering Nigeria's present economic situation.
Senate President Bukola Saraki also acknowledged that the second runway was of utmost necessity, but added that it should only be executed at a reasonable price.
We cannot continue for any way of reckless expenditure, and really the responsibility is ours because the oversight function is ours. And I think that we all have a role to play to ensure that all agencies and MDAs know that those days are over, and any contract must be done prudently, and this kind of figures will not be accepted.
Away from the aviation sector, the House of Representatives has called on the federal government to immediately review the downgrading of 4 federal universities to colleges of education. The House mandated its Committee on Tertiary Education and Services to interface with the Federal Ministry of Education on the matter and report back to the House within 2 weeks. The House said the recent government directive reversing the upgrade of the 4 institutions would worsen the already poor standard of education in the country.
The House recalls that the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan upgraded the Alvan Ikoku College of Education, Owerri, Adeyemi College of Education, Ondo, and colleges of education, Kanu and Zaria, to universities of education. Note that the colleges of education were upgraded to the status of universities mainly because they had been conducting degree programs and awarding degrees in affiliation with several universities. Worried about the recent directive by the federal government of Nigeria reversing the upgrade of the 4 colleges of education to universities of education and reverting them to their former status of colleges of education, will worsen the already poor standard of education, which requires complete overhauling and also could serve as a further impediment to the provision of quality education in the country.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains on this week's edition of the Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us and see you again next week.